Good evening and welcome to another entry from not the Garden State, but the Hay State. As in, if you saw what my lawn looks like out of my balcony, it looks like a pile of hay. Because it hasn't rained in New Jersey, at least my section, in about 3 weeks. Today, it reached 100. Yesterday, it was 102. It has not gotten out of the 90s maybe once in the past 3 weeks. We've seen no rain. It's been brutal. It's hot, southwest Arizona hot during the day, and then at night it's 80 degrees and muggy. They're estimating this is going to last for another week with a 30% chance of rain during this next week. I don't like extreme weather, and I'm not faring too well on this. Now, I'm driving back and forth to Monmouth in a truck that has no functional air conditioning is hell. I have a job interview tomorrow. Hell. Granted, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, but it's only going to be, what, 89 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning? Oh, I might as well put on sweats. Anyway, what do I have to catch you all up on? Yesterday started my last class as a graduate student. Modern British literature. It's a cool class, reading a bunch of cool stuff. Apparently she's a fan of Doctor Who because we got in a whole discussion about British pop culture, and she was impressed with the list of shows and the fact that I live by BBC America. I apologize for the noise in the background. That's the washer running because I need to get clothes done, and I need to do this in a good time because I need to get sleep and be up at 6:45 in the morning. So I'm going to talk louder, so I apologize for the sound. I have my to-do list. World Cup. Go Netherlands. And Ghana. I think their country's soccer team deserves a bunch of pacifiers for being the biggest babies. I mean, if you follow me on Facebook, every now and then I'll post one of those comments they make about the World Cup and biggest babies. The deliberate handball by Uruguay. Handball? Are you frickin' stupid? But that's rhetorical. Oh wait, you're no longer in. Who cares? Otherwise, World Cup, go Netherlands. Went to see Dave Matthews Band last week, 2 shows in Camden, one of the most dangerous cities in the country, but to me, it doesn't faze me because if you're at least 3 or 4 blocks away from the venue, you're perfectly fine. Why? Because they put about 100 cops out. And it's perfectly fine, and it doesn't faze me at all. The fact that you have to walk by the prison to get to the venue. Isn't that cool? You have to walk past a prison. Welcome to Camden. Speaking of which, and I'm sure those who are Philadelphia people are going to get in on this, but I hate being the state that gets crapped on. I'm going to try to watch the fan here. Crapped on every time that there's a concert in New Jersey because either it's Philly gets not acknowledged or New York does. I understand, Dave, you want to do a little ode to Philly, but geographically, remember where your damn ass is. It's in New Jersey. We have an attitude for a reason because it's either we're part of Philly or we're part of New York. I believe that state in between Pennsylvania and New York is New Jersey. Learn the location. The only band I've ever seen in New Jersey acknowledge New Jersey primarily is U2. And they actually called it Jersey, not New Jersey, because if you're from this area, you never call it New Jersey, you call it Jersey. You don't need the new on it. It's a good way to learn how to blend in. And speaking of concerts in New Jersey, a band that I know will definitely acknowledge they're in the Garden State this Friday is Bon Jovi. I am going to my first Bon Jovi concert. Some of you might be like, okay, and some of you might be like, well, it's about time, because it's kind of like, I guess, kind of like Bruce Springsteen. You have to see them when you live in New Jersey. It's kind of a prerequisite. I've never seen Bon Jovi. I know their songs. It's just a band I've never thought of ever wanting to go see, and I'm going to see them at the new Giant Stadium. Never got to see the old stadium. This Friday. So as long as I'm not up in the nosebleeds and my acrophobia doesn't kick in, it'll all be good, and they won't be as obnoxious as some of those whiny teenage frat wannabe Guidos, Jersey Shore rejects that showed up at Dave Matthews. Seriously, if you're gonna go to a concert, don't get drunk, because then you've wasted the money to go to the concert. Actually, you've spent more money on alcohol than your concert ticket. I'll let you think about that for a moment. Yeah. At least night 2 at Camden, it was like the best show ever. Nobody was around me. No assholes. Okay, I swore. And, the best show I've ever seen. 40 minutes non-stop they played. They went from one song to another song to another song. It's unreal. So moving away from concerts, I'm looking at my to-do list. Few technical things. Avatar! No, not the James Cameron CGI prettiness. But, The Last Airbender. I watched the actual series that was on Nickelodeon. And if you've never seen the show on Nickelodeon, please do. It's not a Nickelodeon kids show. It's actually it's one of those shows that's like, oh, it's a cartoon. Oh, wait, this is actually pretty good. Oh, it gets darker. Oh, it gets more interesting. How did this make it through Nickelodeon? Before Dora the Bleeping Explorer and Wonder Pets, I like Wonder Pets, came along. And the thing with Avatar is that, the show takes place in kind of with, like, Japan, Inuits, like, for those who don't know, like Eskimos, basically Asians. And, I find it interesting that the three main characters are played by white people. And I haven't seen Last Airbender, but, that little kid, oh gosh, I forget his name, that'll tell you about me. He better be funny. He better be not dead serious like he is in the trailers. Because he's supposed to be a goofball, 12-year-old kid in the series. Show me that you're a kid! By the way, this one's getting long. I promise I'm not going to be that long, but I haven't done one in about 2 weeks, so I always make sure it's chock full of excitement. But, yeah, the main characters are white. And they're white. And, yeah, and it's interesting that the bad guys in the film, from what I've seen in the trailer, are played by Middle Eastern or Indians. Did I remind you that it's like Japanese, Asian type thing, and if I'm correct, that doesn't work. That, and they couldn't get the main bad guy to look like the bad guy, and it's played by Dev Patel from Slumdog Millionaire. Awesome guy, awesome actor. But yeah, he looks nothing like the character in the animated series. Doesn't have the head shave with the ponytail and the nasty scar. He actually has hair, and it looks like he ran into a can of poster paint. What, they don't want to make it, you know, harmful for the kids? Seriously? Yeah, it looks horrible. It looks embarrassing, and, you know, if you're gonna do it, M. Night Shyamalan, get it right. Seriously, how did you let that happen? How did you think that was alright? And Hollywood, it's another reason why I can tell you, fuck you. Speaking of, kind of, we're gonna go a little bit, the last two things I need to talk about are about video games, very quickly. Portal 2 coming out in 2011. Yes! If you haven't seen the trailer for Portal 2, go onto YouTube and find it. If you've never seen the first Portal, the hell is wrong with you? Go play Portal. There's no other game like it. And believe me, you'll understand me then when I say the cake is a lie.